Hi guys, Tom Morrison here, and are you having issues with getting rid of your anterior pelvic tilt? Are you trying everything but nothing seems to be working for you? We want to give you some things to actually look for. So you could effectively be doing all the right stretches but in completely the wrong way and not getting any of the benefits because you are actually strengthening your anterior pelvic tilt. So it is very important that you record yourself when you're doing your corrective exercises to make sure you're actually rewriting the position. Otherwise you could be doing all the great stretches and then accidentally just strengthening that habit that you have. So if you start to do the exercises right and correct your anterior pelvic tilt with the exercises, then your actual resting position is going to change. Now we have done a video with a great circuit for anterior pelvic tilt before, so definitely check that out. But we want to go over these things again because this is the most common thing that we notice with people that are doing all the right things but not seeming to make any change. So let's look at some exercises. First thing that we want to look at is the side plank. So it's a great core exercise, but here's how you can do it absolutely wrong. So if Jenny's going to set herself up in the position, she just lifts herself. I want Jenny to do this wrong. I'm not even going to mention anything right now. So Jenny's just going to set herself up completely wrong, but you're going to see how right it looks from the front. So Jenny's boom, sitting up. She's holding the side plank. Look, she's in a perfect side plank. Look at this lovely side plank. Everything's brilliant, isn't it? Right? Wrong. Well, what we want to be looking at here is where is her pelvis. So she's actually set up in a position where she's sticking with her bum out. So she's actually going to be strengthening that anterior pelvic tilt position. So say you've done all the hip stretches you need to do, you've loosened everything off that you need to do, and then what do? You go and you fire all your muscles in the position that you're trying to change in the wrong way. So you're not going to get any benefits from it. So what Jenny wants to do here is stagger the feet ever so slightly, set herself up so she's nice and long, and then she wants to get herself in a position where she tucks herself under and sits herself up from the front, okay? So this is me doing it standing right now, but how you want it to look standing, you should also look in your side plank. Look at that, much better now. Now it still looks kind of similar from the front, but if you look here, from this top position, you'll start to see that everything is stacked now in a nice line. Other things with the side planks as well, guys, like you got to think about posture. Say you've got rounded shoulders as well. It's very easy for Jenny to just lean into her shoulder and balance just on the joint rather than actually pressing down and keeping a good position as well. So these are things that you want to think about whenever you're doing your exercises, so you're actually training your body to be strong in the position rather than just hanging out in the position again. So if Jenny just puts herself back in, sticks her bum out and does everything nice and lazy, you can hold that for days. It'll still be challenging and you'll think that you're doing the right things, but that's that thing whenever someone says they've tried everything and they feel like they're not getting anywhere, that is what they're probably doing most likely, is going to be setting up in a position that is not going to help to teach their body to be in that right position. So get that tuck under, sit up from the front and start to train your body to be used to what it is like in that position, and your body will eventually go, ooh, I like that, there's less compression on my spine when I do that, so it's going to start to let you more naturally relax into that position as you're just dandering about your day. So now, let's talk about some dandering, shall we? So, what we want is our integration exercise. So all movements, so like the side plank, you also have the likes of the bird dog, the glute bridge, the Pallof press, and dead bug position. They are all great things to start trying to reteach your body how to get out of this position and lock that position in. But the integration is where it is really at. Can you maintain that position as you're moving, which is something that's really important. So in our anterior pelvic tilt video, we have the standing march drill, which is in it, which we are looking to start to integrate that in your position. So what Jenny's going to do again is that tuck under, stand up from the front, and then she starts to march on the spot, okay? So she's starting to opposite arm, opposite leg, move really, really slowly, and start to work on holding that getting rid of that anterior pelvic tilt position and starting to work on feeling what it's like to have the limbs move in that position. Really focus on what the torso is doing here, okay? So as you're actually going through that position, you should feel a nice stretch across everything as you do that. And if you do it wrong, if Jenny takes herself back into a lazy position and just sort of stands like this and does it, you won't get that same sensation at all. So that's what you're chasing. You're looking to put a bit of awareness into your positions and make yourself feel strong in them. So you practice this and then you go for a run. But what do you do when you go for your run, of course? Yes, of course, you start to run, you stick your bum out, and then you go away on your run like this and undo all your good work. There was no point in ever doing any of the exercises. You may as well just sit on a foam roller for the rest of the week and see if that helps your stupid anterior pelvic tilt, which it won't, and you're So what you want to make sure that you're actually doing is whenever you have done your standing march drill, that you integrate it into your running technique so that you're not just taking away all that good work that you spent all that time doing and actually putting it into your running technique. So be aware when you're out running. Sorry, this is the best we can kind of do. We can't follow Jenny. She's running, so she's going to run the spot. You want to get that same sensation. It won't be as exaggerated as it was when you're doing the standing march drill, but you want to keep that in your mind so that you're actually starting to work on your running technique without running with your bum stuck out like that. Okay, so that, if you're going to do 5 minutes of really good mobility drills and put a lot of work and effort into them, you don't then want to go out for 30 minutes to an hour of running and undo all that good work you just did. You want to make sure the key point here is that we're integrating those drills into your actual movement. Remember that whenever you're doing your corrective exercises, to make sure they are integrated. Otherwise you can get caught in that vicious cycle of thinking that nobody can help you and you've tried all the things and you can't get anywhere with anything, whenever it is actually that you're doing the exercises in a way that is not serving your goal. So the other thing to keep in mind as well is, your anterior pelvic tilt, it might not actually be an anterior pelvic tilt, it might just be a normal natural position for you. There's a lot of different things that can contribute to back pain, all to do with your hip mobility, your core strength, all that kind of stuff. So it might not actually be anything to do with your pelvis position. It might be more to do with how your hips actually move in total. So if you want to have a more full body approach to your mobility work, make sure that you check out the simplistic mobility method.